Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Chris with the C. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for joining me today. Guys, on the table we have the Typhon TLR. Absolutely awesome buggy from Arrma. Really enjoying owning this. And I'm getting the car ready for, we've got a bash coming up on the weekend, Heatherton with 10BRC. Now, I've got some upgrades to show you. Now, what they have kindly done is sponsored a bit of a build series. Between the Creighton EXB and the Typhon TLR, they've sent over some parts. So I want to say a massive thank you to Arthur and Bill from Vitavon Racing. Really appreciate you allowing me to do these videos for you guys. They've sent over some upgrades. Now, initially, the upgrade I was going to fit today was going to be for the EXB, but the diff cases that are actually in there I'm going to leave in there for the moment, but I will say the TLR could do with a bit of an upgrade on the rear of it. Guys, what I'm going to do now is I'll put a link in description for you to go and have a look at some of the Vitavon parts. I'm going to show you on the table what upgrades they've actually sent over to me, and then we're going to fit one of the upgrades to the TLR. So right, without further ado, let's cut the jibber jabber, let's dive down and have a look. Come on then. Right guys, so I must have been a lucky boy. Vitavon have sent me over these parts. I'm really chuffed. I want to say a massive thank you to Arthur for obviously allowing me to do these videos for them. I really do appreciate all the support with the channel. Honestly, thank you very much, Bill and Arthur from Vitavon Racing. Guys, I'll put a link in description to Vitavon, also their Facebook page as well, and any social links towards Vitavon. I'm honestly really humbled by them asking me to do these videos. So if you look, guys, what they've actually sent over is a selection of EXB parts and slash Typhon 6S. So what we've actually got here is the motor mount for the 6S EXB. As you can see, stated on the label there. There's a little bit of QR codes and socials and stuff like that on the back of there. They are based in China, but the quality of these is absolutely awesome. Now, if you're into your bashing and also your racing, you will know, even crawling, Vitavon makes some absolutely amazing parts. They're all CNC machined. They're not cheap Chinese parts. These are proper parts, guys. They're very good. 7075 T6 aluminium, very high graded aluminium as well. But as you can see, your top mount basically for obviously your bars to go to the front and rear diff. It's all been CNC machined. It's really high quality as well. As you can see the milling there. We've also got the front steering bell crank. I'm going to be upgrading the EXB with this. Comes with the bearings and all the attachments you're going to need. This should literally drop in. Really nice. So that's going to go on the front of the EXB. You've also got your servo mount. Now, I will probably replace this on the EXB with this one. Just basically to keep all the parts uniform. But again, what this should actually give to many 6S owners is plenty of strength and durability, especially with the high torque servos. Obviously, pop that on the car. This is going to mount to it. There's no composite parts at all. So yeah, really nice. Again, very high quality machine parts. We've also got the front, basically the front steering hubs. The stub shafts, basically obviously where your pivot balls and everything go into. But the difference here, guys, as you can see, and now this will actually give some durability and strength. Number one, all right, but what they've done is also given you an oversized bearing in the rear of the hub. Now Arrma actually fit these really horrible bearings at the back, and they do have a nasty habit of locking up and basically causing all sorts of problems. So it's nice that Vitavon have gone with the oversized bearings on the rear of the hub. Again, all really nicely made, CNC machine. Vitavon, as you can see, laser etched. I think in fact that might have been machine etched into the actual steering hub. Then you've got the rear hubs, so obviously stub shaft rear. And again, for the Creighton, and again with the oversized bearings, again giving it some strength, because they're quite common parts to break, these guys. And then the bit we're going to be looking at today is obviously they've sent over this full rear diff case and also diff gear along with the input gear and crown gear as well. So this is actually going to go straight onto the TLR Typhon. I'm actually going to remove the stock one. As you can see, I've got stock one there. And then just basically pop that into that vehicle. Now, I wanted to do a little upgrade on this one just to give it a little bit more strength, a little bit more durability. This is an absolutely awesome car, and the amount of power that goes through these on 6S is bonkers. I really do like it. Now, what I'm going to do is pause the video 2 seconds. I'm going to put these parts away. We'll open up this packaging and I'll show you the actual machining. Guys, check it out. Absolutely gorgeous. The machine quality of these is beautiful. So, yeah, all machined in-house. Okay. Full aluminium diff case there as well. As you can see, input gear, spiraled input gear. And obviously you've got the 7075 diff gears. It also comes obviously with the EXB output shafts basically. It's just really well made. And what I have also noticed straight away, there is literally no backlash on this at all. So when obviously this diff gear is out, there's no backlash between the two gears. So it looks like this actually perfectly shimmed straight out of the factory as well. I want to check the diff oil on this because obviously I'm running quite light diff oil on the rear of this one. And then once we've done that, we're going to fit it to the vehicle and go from there. So what I'm going to need to do is obviously remove the standard gear case here, the diff case. Quite easy to do. Obviously, you've got the 4 screws at the bottom of the chassis. You've got 2 then to remove the rear hinge pin holder. And obviously what you are going to need to do is loosen off your stabilizer bar, your sway bar here, and then any screws attaching it. I'm going to take that out of the car now. I'm going to put you on a bit of a time lapse while I'm doing it. And then what we'll do, I just wanted to show you one other thing as well. That gives you an idea of the machining that's gone into it. Can you see the machine lines? Absolutely beautiful, guys. And when I say there's no backlash, there is literally no backlash at all. It fits in there absolutely perfect. So yeah, like I say, these parts, really chuffed that they've allowed me to review these because yeah, they're just a work of art, an absolute work of art. Beautiful parts. Right, let's crack on with that. I'm going to pop this into the back of the car. We should really give it some strength in the rear as well. And I think I'm going to save up and get one for the front as well at some point. But yeah, let's get this in there now. Right guys, okay, so the rear diff is out. As you can see, the car's now split. What we need to do now is start re-adding the parts back onto the differential. Now, one thing to mention here, okay, when you're taking the screws out, is you are going to, because you're going from a metal screw into a metal diff case, it was put a little bit of blue Loctite on there, guys. All right, so when you're re-adding the parts like so, I'm going to put some screws in top of there now. Make sure you're adding Loctite to your screws, okay? It's quite important. The other thing to mention, guys, is this rear output cup. As you can see, a little bit chewed up, all right? It's not too bad, actually, but we should be all right. But, yeah, it was an absolute pain in the backside to get out. Now, what I did is got myself a hefty screwdriver and a hammer. Got the diff case, put on something soft, and tapped the input gear out, basically to get this out of the vehicle. And yeah, it was what Arrma have done after a bit of research on the Arrma forums is actually use red Loctite instead of blue, and that was what was holding it in. So well, there's one plus side. Obviously it was safe, but on the other hand it was a pain in the backside to get out. Let's carry on from here. So just to show you guys, I've got the rear input on now. This is inside the case, absolutely beautiful. And this is the actual differential that they've sent over, as you can see. Beautiful spiral cut gears. Really, really nicely made. Diff case is awesome. Comes with obviously the bearings pre-installed. Now, funny thing is once you put it into the diff case, all right, like so, all right, it seems like there's a little bit of play, a little bit of backlash back to side, but this is where the machining comes in. So I'm just going to push this back down now. As you can see, there is a little amount of play. It's awfully hard to do this because I am recording. There you go. Just a slight amount of movement. As soon as we actually put the diff cover on, like so, push that into place, there is no backlash at all. Nothing at all. So, you know, really, really good tolerances on the machine in here. Very impressed. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do now is actually add a little bit of grease onto the car, onto the differential crown gear. Basically I normally use some lithium grease. All right, basically it's got Teflon coated grease. All it does is add like a protective layer between the gears, and obviously just helps everything move properly. As I mentioned, putting Loctite on, guys, this, as I mentioned, was a pain in the backside to get off. So what I would recommend is don't use red Loctite this time, is obviously go ahead and use your blue Loctite on there. But yeah, we're not far off. We should be getting this back into the vehicle and everything looking a-okay, guys. But you know, the machine quality is absolutely amazing. Right, let's go. Hey guys, so what I've actually done is taken out one of the limited slip plates. Fair shout to Razor RC. I was a little bit confused by the limited slip plates. So what I've actually done, yeah, is offered it up to the car. Put a diff fluid in there. He's got a crack in a tutorial if you're wondering how to create less slip with an LSD. But the only thing I will say here is I do have a lot of play on the input gear, as you can see. I don't know if the camera could be, there you go. So what I'm going to do now, a friend of mine is actually coming up with some shims. I'm going to shim behind the bearing just to take out some of that play there. There's no side to side movement, but there is play on the input gear, and I want to try and eliminate that. So yeah, quite interesting actually teaching myself today. Now I actually know how to do the EXB diffs. I feel quite confident. Like I say, that video from Razor RC was absolutely awesome. Cars are still in pieces. I'm just waiting for the shims to turn up. We're going to have to take off this output drive, pop the input gear out. I'm going to pop a shim behind. It might take two, actually. I'm not sure. But yeah, as long as we get it right, that's the main thing. But so far, the quality has been absolutely amazing. Yeah, awesome. See, I've taken the bearings out of the diff case. I've got them by there. Now what I'm planning on doing is adding two shims behind there just to take up the slack. Now you can actually see where are we to? That's actually where the drive cup was actually bite into, so it wouldn't go any further. So what we need to do is just take up a little bit of slack now to actually get the meshing right on the gear. By doing this, you're actually going to create better, more of. Let me just show you, and this is how it was just explained to me. Fair shout to Nathan from Pantside. You want to get more of the gear without touching the diff case, and that way then it'll weigh a lot better. So I'm just going to shim behind that diff case now, 2 seconds, and then I'll come back to you. Guys, so I've settled with, basically it actually took 3 shims. So it has pushed has put the input gear out. There is still a little bit of backlash, a little bit of movement, but nothing too major. I'm going to be all right with that, to be honest with you. That's absolutely fine. I don't want to really go too far, but the shims I've actually used are these 13 by 16, 0.2 millimeters. So really, the input gear has now been pushed out around about 6 mil. 0.6 mil towards and what we're getting is the teeth of the input gear sitting across the crown gear. Much nicer, but there is a gap, as you can see, in between. So yeah, happy days. Right, we're going to carry on now, guys. Put you back on time lapse, and fingers crossed, get the back of the car back together. We have got to put the output cup back on, and yeah, fingers crossed, it should be really nice for Heatherton now. So I'll speak to you in a sec. Right guys, so welcome back. Good news, we've actually got the Vitavon diff casing now. Yeah, I gotta say the craftsmanship in that differential is absolutely amazing, guys. Really beautiful. I haven't got any issues at all there with how it looks and how it feels. Just really nice, beautiful. Now what I will say, it was a bit of a pain in the backside to learn on the spot on how the differential comes together. Mind, I'll be honest with you, obviously these limited slip plates was something completely new I've never dealt with, so big shout out to Razor RC for the very easy tutorial. Massive shout out to Nathan Thomas for coming up and dropping off some shims, obviously, because we did have to shim the input gear. Now, the funny story about that, I actually ended up putting three shims in the rear. But Arthur and Bill from Vitavon, thank you very much for allowing me to do this. Guys, what I'm going to do in a second is obviously I'll show you a close-up of the differential on the car. I really want to get one for the front now as well. Craftsmanship is absolutely outstanding. You see a beautiful piece of CNC machining. Guys, link is in the description for these guys. I definitely recommend checking them out. I'm glad now this is in there, so obviously I can run this now on the weekend and just have a bit of fun with it, really. The back end of that is pretty much bulletproofed. Right, I'll see you down below in a second. Okay guys, so as you can see, Vitavon diff is actually in the car now. What a beautiful piece of equipment. Like I say, it was very strange to learn about the EXP differentials, but between the TLR, obviously shock towers and rear hinge pin holder, and now the Vitavon diff case, pure car porn. Honestly, beautiful. But yeah, this should really hold up. One thing to mention, guys, obviously make sure you put Loctite on all your screws when you're putting it in. And I can't wait to show you this running now on the weekend. Fingers crossed everything holds up. And yeah, just I haven't really got much more to say. I'm kind of in awe at the moment. I'm really happy with how it's coming together, this car. But beautiful. Welcome back, guys. Like I say, massive shout out to Arthur and Bill at Vitavon. Guys, link will be in the description for this. Amazing parts. I can't wait to crack on now with the Creighton. I'm glad I've actually put this into here. And what that will actually get me to do now is actually get, fingers crossed, get a front differential for the front of this TLR. Can't wait to run this on the weekend. I think it's going to be absolutely ballistic. I want to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you obviously watching the videos at the moment, guys. Truly blessed and humbled. All I ask is make sure you check, put a like on the video, subscribe, and check the box for more videos. Guys, stay awesome. Catch you later.